Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to TracTrac Mechanization Forum 2025, the state of mechanization ecosystem in Nigeria.
We have trained about 2,500 young people to become mechanization service providers, equipping them with business, technical, and customer service skills. We have enabled the creation of more than 2,500 jobs across Nasarawa and Kaduna for a start. We have increased access to mechanization services for thousands of smallholder farmers, thereby boosting productivity and reducing drudgery. We have successfully distributed about 160 tractors, 160 plows, 160 harrows, 160 planters, and 160 tipping buckets, all placed directly in the hands of cooperatives to serve farmers. We delivered over 283 threshers and several other labor-saving devices, which are already reducing drudgery, saving time, and improving productivity for farmers across the two states.
TracTrac has changed the narrative of this personality speaking here to a different person. The numbers of farming we put ourselves now differ from what has been happening, all because their son is part of TracTrac. The hectare of land we do this year, it will enable us to feed ourselves, take it to the market for 5 good years, all because of TracTrac. My advice to the youth that are coming, come and join mechanization so that food can come to the table and also be available in the market.
TracTrac was founded in 2018 with the mandate to make tractors accessible, available, and affordable for smallholder farmers across Nigeria and by extension the entire West Africa. We founded TracTrac to make sure that farmers who before now would use traditional means of farming will now be able to access tractor services that will help them to improve their productivity and will also help to improve their yield.
You round the corner, 4 a.m.
Agricultural mechanization is the backbone of any nation's drive towards food security, employment generation, and sustainable rural development. In fact, lack of mechanization is said to be responsible for the poverty level in most parts of sub-Saharan Africa. In Nigeria, the mechanization ecosystem has grown steadily, but significant gaps still exist in terms of access, affordability, local fabrication, maintenance services, and operator training.
When tractors move, youths are employed, food prices will stabilize, and rural communities will thrive.
The event has been wonderful, and with so many people attending and different kind of engagement, a lot of learnings, and I believe we are having a better perspective when it comes to smallholder farmers and every other person actually getting into embrace mechanization.
If we are going to be able to do more lands, open up more lands, move it from 30 million hectares to like 50 million hectares or 60 million hectares, right? We will need technology.
The tractor density in Nigeria is still reported as approximately 0.027 horsepower per hectares. This is equivalent to 6 tractors per 10,000 hectares. This is considered below the Food and Agricultural Organization recommendation of 1.5 horsepower per hectare.
What we are discussing today wouldn't have been if the smallholder farmers have all the resources to buy all the machinery that they require. So the issue is economic.
Access to finance is very, very important.
We must strengthen institutional collaboration among the relevant agencies that has a role to play as far as agricultural mechanization is concerned.
82% of Nigerian farmers are still using cutlass and hoes. In the 21st century, when they're talking about smart agriculture, they're talking about precision agriculture, and they're doing cutlass and hoes. That cannot be agriculture, it is crude farming.
No matter the technologies you have developed, if it doesn't get to the farmers, it is zero. Most of the mechanization technologies we develop today are not need-based because there is no deliberate link between the research and the farmers.
When Nigeria mechanizes, Africa makes progress.
And so far, we have released locally assembled and fabricated tractors, three-wheelers, about 160. We are going to 565 of them by the end of next year. And that's our own little way of moving the situation, improving the mechanization situation in the country.
Machines are handed to political elites instead of genuine service providers, and private firms cannot compete with subsidized imports. The private sector is best placed to drive sustainable mechanization, but it needs an enabling business environment with predictable rules and fair competitions.
Sometimes we also bring some of the solutions that it has worked in other countries. Each country has its own policy, but yes, what can be adopted in Nigeria, we bring that solution.
Most of them were just coming from maybe different backgrounds and not even having any idea or intention of going into agriculture, but some of them, because of the training provided by TracTrac, some of them have actually developed interest in agriculture, and they are even calling on their fellow youths to join in this drive. And for me, they are the right kind of people for us to work with.
Mastercard Foundation has asked us, work with 6,000 young people, train them to become mechanization service providers. And what do we mean by that? They are going to be operators, they are going to be booking and hiring agents, they are going to be mechanics, they are going to be all sorts within the ecosystem.
We've been able to speak up about some of the challenges that are there, which before now it's not very well spoken about. So the session gave us an opportunity to listen to some of these comments. And while the various stakeholders are there, those are involved, we try to find ways around, trying to handle some of the stated challenges in the mechanization space.
I have a personal vision, and you know what that vision is? By 2030, we must have about 250,000 units of tractors in this country.
Financial institutions should reconsider their stand of not funding mechanization now. At least there are a lot of things that have been put in place to change the narrative from what we experienced before. Now you can fund comfortably, and those guys can actually pay your rentals as expected.
Once again, we want to say a very, very big thank you. And for those of you that are traveling, we pray that God will grant you journey mercies.